How do I even know if they can satisfy me?
There's this idea that a lot of men, when they become Christian, they're like, what if when we get married, the sexual compatibility isn't there? I want to test drive it before I get married to make sure that that's what I want. I understand that the topic of sex can be taboo, uncomfortable for some people. That's because the world made it uncomfortable. Why? Because we've perverted it. The enemy perverted it. Your body doesn't belong to you anymore. Husband, your body's not yours either. Like, it belongs to your wife. So serve each other.
Watching either Netflix or even going on a movie date is, I think, like in the very beginning of your like relationship is the worst thing that you could do, because it's like you're just putting yourself in a position to fail, in the sense like, I remember you know this, I told you firsthand, well, you too, Renee, like my first date with my girlfriend, we literally had, it was a date of, we went to Armature Works in Tampa and we spoke for 7 hours.
It was a work shift.
Yeah, for real.
So,
for real.
but
I remember, oh yeah, that's right. I was like, is Richie alive? Like, it's 9 p.m.
But we honestly like talked about, you know, our walk with the Lord, you know, what do we envision, you know, the future, you know, just things like, all right, because I know what I want, and it was marriage.
Sure.
And I think for her, I can't speak for her, but I know she knows what she wants, and she has like an idea of what she's looking for in a man. So I thought that was like great to really just talk. It's like,
For sure.
to be like, all right, cool. Are we compatible in these aspects of what we want to do moving forward?
Yeah. Speaking of compatibility, I think that's a perfect segue for this video, because this is another myth that I kind of want to debunk, right? Because there's this idea that a lot of men, when they become Christian, they're like this fake idea, like, but what if when we get married, the sexual compatibility isn't there? Like, what if I want to test drive it before I get married to make sure that that's what I want? This idea, right? Yeah. And so they talked about it on this podcast. Let's watch it, and I want to get your... I don't think you guys have seen it, so I want to get your guys' live reaction to the video.
I have friends where one was a virgin, one was not. They got married. Wasn't great. I got friends where one was a virgin, the other one was a virgin. They got married. They didn't know any better. It was great. Mm-hmm. I got friends where neither were virgins, and it was wonderful. And now you do have people, even Christians, they're saying, man, I don't know if I can trust our sexual compatibility without knowing something. How do I even know if they can satisfy me?
Sexual compatibility isn't biblical, so we can just go on to the next.
No,
not you, Lecrae, but that's just not a general makeup of a healthy marriage.
Yeah, the way that I've understood it is like, if you care about pleasing the other person, you should be good, right? Like that's.
You said the way that
like
I've
that's
understood.
like I mean I got no experience. I'm just saying like
I've experienced some things, and I just don't think it's important.
Okay. What's important?
Sexual compatibility.
I
think sexual compatibility is important, but I think it can be learned.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you can teach your
like
partner
I don't have to
how
think
to
it's like,
please you.
man, gotta get somebody experienced in this. Like I don't know why I would ever think that.
I do want my first time to be fired though. I do want it to be like whether I do want my real actual first time to be fired. Honestly speaking, when I get married,
they're just gonna keep talking about this idea. And I bring it up because, again, a lot of guys struggle with that. I've talked to a lot of guys who are like, oh, man, but, you know, I come from the world, you know, I don't know what it's going to be like if we hold off and I don't test it before I get married, you know. And I bring this video up, again, in the context of dating relationships, boundaries, because I think a lot of those boundaries sometimes are even willfully and intentionally crossed because of this stupid thought behind the back of your head.
Yeah.
Like, damn, what if we get to the wedding day and it's not fire? Well, like, sexually, you can learn to please each other. That's where communication comes in. What do you like? What do you not like? Right? In the context of marriage. Absolutely. I remember when when my wife and I did premarital counseling at Brave at the time, that it was like a 12-week course. You guys did the same
13-week course.
13. The sex week, like one of the last ones. We talked about the whole book, but I'll never forget our marriage therapist. She was like, this section is actually really simple. When you guys get married, you go to her, what do you like? Do that. What does he like? Or what does she like? Do that. Very simple. And they touch on it, right? Like there's I think it's 1 Corinthians 7 when Paul says your body doesn't belong to you anymore. Like your body's your wife's, and then husband, your body's not yours either. Like it belongs to your wife. So serve each other in the context that we talk about service all the time. In marriage, that doesn't stop. Yeah. Even in the covenant, even in the context of sex. You're serving one another. When it's all about me, myself, and I, what can I get from this marriage? What can I get from this sexual act? You're making it selfish. Like,
Yeah.
How can you serve your spouse? And you can learn each other. And so that's like, I feel like a dumb myth from the world that scares men into being obedient and pure. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, because I've heard it too, where guys are like, oh, like, what if it sucks?
Yeah.
Come wedding day. And I'll say this, right? Like, I had no idea if me and my wife were going to be sexually compatible up until we got married.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that we waited, because I feel like, how do I explain it? Like, if you have that thought in your head, and you, I guess, like how the graphic on this video said that test driving the car, you know, before the wedding night or whatever. I feel like if you already test drove the car, you know, there could still be a possibility that after you guys get married, maybe you guys aren't compatible, you know? Because I think one of the girls said that, I don't think it's that important being sexually compatible, which I disagree.
I disagree.
Too, yeah. I don't think that's a good way to think about it either. I think there has to be compatibility, just like there has to be emotional compatibility. You got to find your spouse attractive.
100%.
Yeah, but I think what she meant was more so kind of what you said, which is just something that can be taught.
Yeah,
so
that was the other one. The other one. So
Yeah.
the one on the right was the one that said, I don't think is that big of a deal. Then the other one was like, well, I think it can be taught. So I agree with that too. Because there's, again, communication is important.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when it comes to the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you guys have to, like, what your marriage counselor told you is like, dude, what do you like? Okay, cool. What do you like? All right, just do that.
Talk to each other.
Make it happen. It's simple.
The Bible says, and this is not just us talking. The Bible says in Hebrews, the marriage bed is undefiled, right? So that means that in the context of marriage between you two, I'll be go at it. Like, do whatever you want. And here's the thing. We've made the issue. I understand that the topic of sex can be taboo, uncomfortable for some people, but that's because the world made it uncomfortable. Why? Correct. Because we've perverted it. The enemy perverted it. Yeah. Whereas in the beginning, it was meant to be something beautiful.
Yeah.
We were all meant to be naked from the beginning. It's not till they bite the apple, they fall into sin, that they go, oops, I'm naked now.
Yeah.
The first shame comes into creation.
Correct. Yeah.
This wasn't meant to be a taboo subject, right? And so part of the reason I think the church has been so bad at sometimes addressing sex is because we made it a taboo, and we need to talk about these things, because if we don't talk about them, they're going to learn about it through Pornhub. They're going to learn about it through
it's true
OnlyFans.
Yep.
And then that's what causes that is what feeds that thought of like, oh, what if it sucks?
Correct.
You know, and it's like,
or for those that have, you know, we're part of the world and we're out there, and now you come into this lifestyle, and that fear is going to come in because you actually have something to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think in a sense of the video, there's a couple guys or maybe one or two guys that are virgins or whatever. They don't know what to expect. And it's like Lecrae said at first, you know, there's people that, you know, they're both virgins and they get together, and then it's great because
you have zero experience.
You have zero experience. Exactly.
Yeah.
But in a scenario where maybe someone has already been part of that world or have experienced that, it's going to create that.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, you already have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
Correct.
And all I'm saying is, like, biblically speaking, that was never God's design. You know,
no, 100%.
Like, I'm
not saying it was, but I think that's where the biggest issue comes in now.
Correct. Yeah,
correct. People who unfortunately have had sex before marriage with either a different person than the one that they're dating or not. Again, that's where that thought also comes from. It's like, because you, to your point, you have something now to compare it to. So then you're constantly anxious of like, man, but what if if it's not like how I've experienced it before? What if they don't like doing this and I ask them for it? Or like, what if, you get me? So
yeah,
this is why God's original intention was wait until you're married.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
Wait until you're married. And also, can I just say this, man, please, for the love of Christ, do not do long engagements. Bro, there's people who I know that have been engaged for like 2 or 3 years. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you are literally just waking up every day and fighting temptation over and over again. Like, you're already at the point of being engaged. So you already know, hey, this is my boo thing for life.
For life.
What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
You know, I know a couple just now that they just got married, super small, intimate thing. Married, boom, went to the court. Our pastor went and officiated it. But guess what? They're not having the actual wedding, like the event, the celebration,
Ceremony,
until
yeah.
the start of next year. But they're married already, living together, doing their thing. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and they're only engaged for like 4 months.
Honor God, because then the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord.
Exactly.
Like you're shortchanging your favor.
Correct. And I'm also not saying do like those 3-month dating seasons and then
chill,
go get
chill,
don't do that either.
Chill.
Because these people that I'm talking about, they were dating for like a year. So give yourself at least a year. You know,
Get to know your person.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Don't just, especially for those that were part of the world BC. And now you're following a different lifestyle. You have a different walk.
Yeah,
that's definitely not the focus. We're not telling anybody go hurry up and go get married so that you can go do that.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is make sure that whoever you are with, it's like they said, like I know this is the person. This is my person.
Yeah.
And even though, this is my person, it's still something to kind of control and stay on top of. You know what I mean? You still don't want to sin.
Correct.
Or at least try to stay as far as away from it as possible.
I think also too, it's just, again, going back for me, everything is just always leads to communication, but it's with anything. You want a successful relationship, communicate. You want a successful marriage, communicate. Yes, sex is going to be pleasurable, but it's going to be pleasurable to the extent of how you and your partner, you and your wife will make it to be. Just want to, make it very clear on that. You and your wife is going to be. So if you're going to fill her needs, you said it's something very similar, but when you're married, you're just trying to outserve each other.
Correct,
So, and I think it's amplified once you're married, because in your dating season, you can get a touch of it, but once you're in covenant,
Serving each other.
Yeah. So it's more amplified.
It'll save you so much heartache, so many issues. Like, I'm telling you, man, we see it time and time again, especially men here in Miami. Like, sex outside of marriage is like drinking Coca-Cola. It's common. It's everywhere. Like, that's normal. Yeah. That's the hookup culture in Miami.
Yeah. And the thing is practically also, man, it's like, bro, we've said it a bunch of times on the show that it's like, just because you get married doesn't make everyone else around you ugly.
Right.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
like there's still beautiful women out there. My wife to me is the most beautiful person I've ever met, the most beautiful woman I've ever met. I didn't marry her for her looks. I married her for far more than that. But just because I have a ring on my finger doesn't make every other girl in the world ugly. Now, attraction isn't a sin, right? It's what Tim Ross always says. Attraction isn't the sin. It's what you do with that attraction. Because Jesus said that even if you look at a woman lustfully, you've already committed adultery in your heart.
Right.
You get me? So you can appreciate the beauty, but that's where it stops. If it goes further than that, you start fantasizing things, you start entertaining certain thoughts, that's where you've already lost that battle.
Yeah.
You get me? That's where that enticement comes in. And that's where you got to cut it at the enticement, So, so that's what I was saying to this young man. I was like, dude, you can go, let's say that it doesn't work out with this girl. Let's say that, whatever, it doesn't work out. You want to get with someone who looks better or is better. You can get with that person. But guess what? Now you're going to find another girl who's going to look even better than the one that you left the first one for.
Exactly.
Right.
So you are never, ever, ever, if you operate in that way, you are never going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
You are never going to stop.
It's true.
Because you need to, within yourself, in your heart, between you and the Lord, you need to commit internally to like, this is a girl that I want.
Yeah, for sure.
This is who I want you to help me get to know. This is who I want to marry. You get me? So
yeah, that's good.
have that in your head. You're never going to get satisfied.